Okay.
Hey, what we're going to be taping tonight is clearing the path and showing how that we're trying to get a yang reaction and then yin that to get through to the center and all these. And the first way to practice it is just with hand to hand, because your palms are sensitive, you should get that feeling. Then most of the time you actually use it, you could be using the palm, you could be using your forearm, but it's the same, trying to get that reaction. Now, some of the things that we do with that, we're going to do the rest of the 5 elements to understand that, but it's all in that clearing the path section of the form that we basically had a dictionary of different things you're doing. What we want to talk about is you'll be using points a lot of times to get this to activate. After you've made the initial movement, you'll go for a point. But you don't need to be on a point to start the reaction. But just let's show the hand movements first. You're going to find set their hands up. Okay, more like this. Okay. So now I usually turn 45 with that, so they don't have a straight in target. So turn slightly with your chest. Okay, that way, and go to the other side. No.
Switch.
Turn to the other side, switch hands. No, this hand forward. And switch your feet. Okay. So what I want to do is show 2 different ways. Okay. A lot of fighters want to start off with their left hand because they're going to do reverse punch with the right hand. But if you've been watching a lot of Bruce Lee movies, switch, you'll want the front hand forward to make that the active hand, and this is just a follow-up, which actually both of them should be active hands. Okay. So then the opponent, I could be like this, or I could be like this, or I could just be here. Doesn't matter. But what we're going to do then is the idea of what we're trying to do is clear a path to the center that we're going to hit. And usually what happens is that when we do the attack, he'll block that, and then most times people pull out or try to do something with that hand instead of just taking care of it, where as soon as he blocked it, I can do a movement that clears it and take care of his other hand, the attack. But just coming up here, I could be blocking this way, or I could be blocking this way. Right? Now again, that means when I'm going here, he could be hitting me here, or from here it could be hitting me there. Now again, what I want to do is cause a reaction on that, so I'm more in control. And that's where we have what's called the royal wave. Royal wave is just this movement. And if I'm doing a palm, I call it more like a key movement. So I'm turning a key. And that gets a reaction against that his body really cannot not do. If I clash here, and just try to do something, he's going to be able to stop me. If I do this and then do that, that movement of this got his body wrapped here without even thinking about it. This body reaction. Do the same thing here. If I can slam this in that, but if I just try to do something from there, he's going to be able to do something against it. But if I do that, all I did here was when I did this to get a reaction like this. That means I could take him down. Okay? Now, obviously, easiest thing to do when I do that, I just come right off it. So when I do this and take him down, I forced him off like that. I stop that and I hit. All right? So that same thing, hands back up. Instead of doing this hand, I can do this hand. Right? Now that way I still can slam this way. If I turn it this way, so I can pull off, I'm going to come back before I can respond to it. Now, are you able to get those, or do we need to come at an angle here?
I think we got it. I mean,
Okay. Well, we can look at it after we do the tapes. So at both times, what we're doing here is the initial movement, he's going to stop. But I still need a reaction off of him so that his body tries to push out. He's already pushed one time. And now with that, his body's trying to do it again. And that's the part that he's not thinking about. The first part is his doing that consciously. That time, he didn't. So what I did there, slightly different thing. So I did this, he went out, so I let it slip by, which made a clear shot for that. Okay? There's different classes you can do when we're striking. We'll just do these supposed to show the double hands. So we're up like this, or we can start down here and we throw, it doesn't matter. But he blocks one, he blocks the other. Now from this, I'm on both the outsides. Now it could have been, in here, I was here and here, I'm both on the inside. Alright? Or again, from here, I'm on inside and outside. Or I'm on here and the inside. And again, it can be just here when I do that. It again depends on how you flash, you're never sure. But all of those have different things you're going to be doing on that. Again, he stopped it. And that could have been, I did this simultaneously, but it could also happen where from hands up, boom, boom. So now we have, I did a dot dot one, but we're still in this position where I have outside inside. Okay? So now I can do this. In this case, this hand over here is more alpha than this hand in his response. Okay? So if I do that, boom. What I did was get a reaction here, so he presses that way. He went past the center line with this, which weakened this. So now I can just go on top of it and smack him. Okay? So that's a lot of the things that we're going to be looking at is when we have engaged, we can either engage one hand or two hands, and we can still do this type of action on those hands. And if we initiated with one hand, and then did the second hand, so it's a bang bang type of thing, we can still use the technique of causing this alpha reaction. That is a reaction that his body does, not his mind does. Because once there's if I just blocked here and then try to do something, he's going to stop it because he's going to sense it. Okay? If I do this, then I have him. Because I caused that reaction against this, and then I just shinned it. Okay? Let's put hands up again. From here, a lot of people don't fight the arm. They're trying to fight the body. They're trying to get through the arms. Okay? But we fight the entire body. So something's up pounding on the arms to get reactions. I'm not worried about getting the hedge at first. I'm taking these all the way. That again is part of clearing the path. So if I'm out here, I can do that. You see what I did is I just grabbed this, pulled out, put it into a point on here, allowed me to twist it. When I do that, he's coming forward, so now he's open for a punch right there. And because I'm pulling this against the point, this hand isn't as strong as it could be. So if he blocks it, I'm going to be able to pull it off him and open him up for stuff. Okay? And that's just like this. So people, they may pound this hand, but they don't ever grab it. Again, in this type where I grabbed it, I went up here, I again got him to stop so he's pressing against it so I don't have to reach for it. Okay? I just turn, now this is on that, by touching this point, it's going to bend this, I just take the energy out of that hand, I can just go down. Alright? So again, all I've done here is take that hand. Okay? I can also, from here, do it this way. And I'm using a point on here, it's not as effective as the one inside, but it's still, I'm able to turn them and you see how that pulls this arm back and opens them up. So then, This is actually, I don't have to worry about his other hand when I start reacting with this hand, because by hitting the meridians on here, it's going to make that hand weaker. He's not going to be able to shoot a good shot at me. And I'm going to be turning him one way or the other, so now he's not going to be able to shoot center. If we just left it here, he'd be able to come over this and hit my center. Just go over, boom, hit the center. See? You don't even step, he just pounds it, throw it. Right? See, if you throw it a little further from there, now see you can get, huh? So now I'm here, and I'm close enough that I can get you like that. So I just do this. Okay, so I get it in the extra couple inches. Okay? So again, when we're hitting this stuff here, I'm going to do some reactions on these things to get him to have to do that. If I just leave this, then he can use his hand. If I try something funny like that though, as soon as I leave without doing that force, he can hit me. So I'm here, I'm just going to go under, you go ahead and hit. See? Because you felt it. Okay? Because I didn't do anything. But from here, boom. What I did there was get him to have to go out this way, which means he's going this way to open this up. And I just hit. Bang. Okay. Up again. If I just do this, again, it knocks it out, but you can pull it back. Okay, so I see some people do that too. This or this. But it doesn't do anything to his reaction. He's going to pull it back. All right. So when I hit this, I want to transfer it to this hand. So I've hit and grabbed. Instead of just grabbing. Because now your attention's on this and you don't see me do that. Okay? And then again, I just pull you in. Boom. And again. Here. And if you notice, you go on this side. From here, I do this. Now normally he'd shoot with this, except I've messed his body up. His body says, he's got me over here. And the way I've got him, I've got this on a point and this on a point. They don't like each other. So I do that. Boom. Right? So then he didn't use this hand. If I'd just done that, he could use that hand to knock this off. And then up. Boom. Okay? But from here, when I do that, that hand's not active anymore. Right, it's going through. Okay? So that's the same if that hand's up, this hand's up. I can do that. And just doing that, just throw them off. You know, he's totally clear for a punch or a chop, or whatever. Okay? Hands up again. This out here, then here. Boom. So again, at first he blocked with this one to stop it. And I'm just feeding him that, because I want to get to that one. Boom. And so I'm just pressing here, and then grabbing those points. And take it in. And then boom. Okay? That's again how I can come to you with this stuff. Boom. So I take it down this way, but I slid down to that, put this here and this here, and I just pull. Right? So then there's things where we want to be able to control these too, not just get them out of the way, we can use those to attack. Yeah. If we get the meridians working, it lessens the ability of the other hand to work, tips you over because of the angle we're pulling that on. Okay. Now, some of the things that you can do, what we're going to do any exercises, is that we usually do the exercises starting here, just so we have our hands available. And we again do like one hand, and we have palm to palm to start off with in training because these are more sensitive and we want to be able to feel what we're doing and be able to sense his reaction to it. We could start them off like this, but then that's not sensitive. This we want to do because we can feel what's happening. So we're trying to train our body as we're going so we don't have to think about it when we're using it. Now double hand. I could do it this way, or I could do it this way. This way is more sensitive because I can feel more what his reaction is than this. I can still feel this. If I train with this, then I'll also be able to train with this, and I feel this information coming through against my arms. So one of the things we're doing here is that, again, we want to be able to get him reacting to something that he's not aware he's reacting to really. His body is aware of what's happening because it's reacting to it, but his mind is slightly behind that. Okay? So like what we're going to do here is we call the 5 element movements. And so there's different things you're going to be doing, and we pattern after the form where we do the 5 elements so that, again, we have a use for it when we actually collide. Because in all these things, we're not going to start off in a fight with somebody like this. That's ridiculous. That's an exercise. We'll build it here, and we'll punch, and now we're connected. All right? So now that's where we have to clear to get to that. If I do this, I already got him. And all I did here was do this, so he goes that. That's the whirl wave. I got a reaction here, and then let me pull it off. And that's also turning. Okay. So here, the wood movement, boom. Okay? There's 2 ways you can do this. From the touching here, like that, I pull them up here. Now again, the way I did that was I got this first. Okay? If I don't do that, don't let me pull your hand up. You just pull it back. You didn't have it. But from here, boom. I was able to pull them enough off so I can come and get them. Boom. Okay? So that's the wood movement. Boom. Okay? You can also do that on the outside. So we're doing one hand here. Again, if I do this, I get a reaction like this. Boom. Okay? So again, I'm doing boom. Okay? So that's your wood movement. Now, if we're in double hands, and there are different variations of this, and again, if I'm reacting on one hand, his other hand basically stays dead. Because it's a body reaction, and his mind isn't telling anything here. This hand isn't doing anything to this, so this is going to stay as a dead hand. Okay? Boom. And that just stayed there. Okay? Here, same thing. Boom. Again, the reason it happened is because the body can't react to 2 directions. If I push out there and he's going to be pressed that way, it's easy to pull this way. Right? Again, if I press this way, it's easy to go down. If I don't press first, I just try, don't let me go down. See? He senses that and goes out, but boom. When I do that little twist, his body's reacting this way, and he can't stop me from doing that. Once I have it down, it's clear, it's come up. Okay. So, then if we've clashed here, and he's blocked that, here's another thing I can do. You know, I do this, he starts going that way, I go that way, it follows. Right? If I didn't do that, if I just tried going here, just hit me. Don't go forward. If I do this, he can hit me. Because he's sensitive that that's no longer an obstruction. Right? But from here, it automatically follows. Once I've done that, he's turned, he's clear, boom, boom. So again, that's what we're doing on these, is I can do this, and then here, it follows, instead of being able to attack me. Boom. Okay? So that's again where we're using a movement that get a reaction, and that the one we're doing the reaction again is automatically becoming an active hand. The other hand is becoming a dull hand, a dead hand, because all the attention is here. And again, on this type of thing, it's not your brain, it's your body that forgets about this hand. So, a lot of these things we're doing these things, this part about just doing our attention, getting the attention off it, works. All right? Now, it can also work here. I just press this off, okay? But he's going to be pressing back on it, even though he stepped back a little bit when I did that. Here, boom, boom. I'm able to pull him this way. Okay, don't let me move you. That happens when you just grab him and try to pull him. But, boom, I'm able to pull him off. That time I just slid this off, I was using this hand to do it, but again, this is a dead hand. So I push that here, I'm just able to pull him off. Or if I had worked like I thought, I could grab this. You see, sometimes that doesn't work. It doesn't matter. When I've done this, I do that. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is another thing that happens is that we're Xing the body. The body does not like movements and X motions. Huh? So in this case, I don't even have to do that motion first. I can just exit, or exit this way. So if we're here, again I go over here because he's going to follow, and I do that. And just by going from here across here, the body says, I didn't like that, I didn't know what's going on. All right? I can also do it this way. Boom. Boom. So yeah, what's happening is we're using things that the body doesn't like. There's some natural defenses that go into effect that we're kicking off with these things. We're putting energy into meridians. The meridians don't like that pressure. It releases joints. Okay, so let's see, we covered the hands. We talked about the Xing. And we talked about wood. Now, Earth is a cross movement. Right? So in this case, again, if we're doing a single hand, I can do this, but now I'm going to do this. Boom. So I didn't go underneath it or pull up like I did with wood. With wood, I'm going to grab something along here to pull up. This, I'm going to do this first, and then pull it back. Now, the reason I do that is I can get into this meridian again, and here and bend this, so now there's no energy in that. If I just do this, I haven't activated this. When I do this, I've activated those things. Okay? That in there, again, I'm rubbing against this in here. So when I'm doing this, in here, I've activated that. That allows me to take it out. Okay. So here, but now I'm just doing this in here. And I can go along here, I can use this finger for that, I can go in the middle with this. If I go in the middle, I also touch here. So I got two different meridians that I'm working on. When you squish those, it doesn't like it. When I squish those, it releases this being able to turn here. So when I do that, and I just press against this, that bends. So then you've lost the ability to use this arm basically. And it just has to be for a second. Right? So the wood movement I'm going to pull up here because I'm going to hit down. Here, when I do this, I can just go right in there. So I don't have to pull this far of that, just enough so you're off. So I can get into it. Boom. Okay. So again, if we're on the outside, I want to get a reaction first, so I can pull them off. And all I do is clear it like that, and I go back in. Boom. Okay. So I can hit 9 into 10, into 22, coming through here. I want to. From here, get a reaction here, so he follows me, so I don't have to worry about this hand, because his active hand is now following me. And I pull that down in here to get a point to again relax this hand, and boom, boom. All right. So again, what I'm doing here is right here, and I'm doing here. And I can dig in the top here to 12 or in here to 13. All right. And that again, if I just leave this here, then do this, that turns this and makes it even more painful. There that. So that's our earth movement using the praying hand span. Right? So on the outside, in here, I'm going to do this to get that reaction. And I really don't have to go flat. You know, just that. I've just turned it like turn the key. Boom. Okay. That allows me to pull this way. Whereas if I just tried pulling, you wouldn't let me. Okay. But because I got your action going this way, it's easy to pull you this way. It's 90 degrees to where you're pressing. So that's true with any of these things. So now, that's the earth movement. We're crossing things. And now we have water where we're going to go up. Right? Now, this can be used against the neck to release the neck. It can be used against the body to get the body to turn, and the shoulder and the arms. Yeah. So, when we're using it from here, I can get a reaction, so again it's going this way, allows me to come up here and pull that down. I do that slow, and I don't have to pull them all the way down. Boom. All I do is pull them forward to get that hand release. And then again, you see me do a lot using my other hand to stop it. Because if I just did this, up here, he could do the wood movement. And then slam it out. Okay? So that would be your copy to it. But when I do this, that stops that from being able to come up and come back down. Okay? A response that you could use when I do this and do this, just turn and do that. There you go. Okay? So now again, you're not doing it on a straight line, you're taking it out. And that clears you too of here. Boom. Again, bam, hit me. I think you don't want to leave that up there. Okay. So that's a water movement. When you're out here, boom. All right. And here, here, here. Top and head. All right. We're doing the two hands. I can use either hand, the other hand becomes dead. So I do this. Here, this hand isn't doing anything. Boom. All right. Because even if he's thinking about keeping these both live, this is a messed up this. His body's lost track of what that is. So I can do anything I want with that one. Okay. So Another way to do this is from here, here. That's the water movement where I'm taking him. I'm doing this, so he goes back out. It stops him from being able to do this. Okay? And I just roll here against gallbladder 20 high here, and that twists his head and takes him down. Okay? So again, if he was using this, if he felt this, where I've done this and did this, he's got to do the wind movement. Right, you send that down. So he doesn't, I'm going to take him out and come back and hit him. Right? So again, you just can't do this, you have to clear. That's why we have in the form, not just this, but this too, that's a hit and a clear. Okay? So we do the same thing. The other side is we're going to do this, get him to go that way, and we go that way. All I've done,
Sorry, right here.
yeah, instead of going here, I've gone here. You see, I'm going not here, but here. And that releases his neck into that. All right? And that's, again, the thing what I'm doing, I'm actually releasing neck. If I just went here, don't let me take it down. So you can resist that. But when I do this out here, I'm able to, right, go ahead and get out. When I go this way, it again throws his head off, and then I can take him down and around. And so either side, I need to go up and across with those angles. Stomach 5 is under here, okay? It's halfway between this and here. You have one on top and we have one on bottom, okay? So if I can't go over here, I can go there. So I've lifted his head, so now it's not stable anymore. So once I've done that, I can chop down on it. And he's going down. Again, I mean, I got him too far because it shows how much I tap it, but he's already down there. I finish it off. Okay? So you can again use water doing this, but instead of going on here, you're just going to take stomach 5 out. All right. So again, we have the ability of using it from the inside, the outside, either arm, and that. And we're using the arm after we get a reaction. The other arm is not going to be in play. That's just the way the body works. Okay. So now fire. Fire movement is here, and then here, and down. So when we do this, we could be attacking the body with our palm, or just dislodging this. So a single hand here, when we're doing this, when I do this, I then do this. So I have it underneath it, so I can go through here and take them out. Again, what I'm doing is I'm doing a circle on this. I don't want to just pull here and here. I've done this, I do a big circle, and that turns this. So now he's weak again with this arm, getting that far over. And I just take him down. All right. We notice that from here, where I've turned him that way, and that fed this arm, his safety arm, here is going to go against this. Now if he doesn't, he could stop me by doing that. But again, if I'm doing this smooth, I'm just doing that. So I'm doing it in one motion, and you don't have a chance to react to that. Right? So we have on the outside, if I do this, and then down there. All I've done is the same movement, except now I'm pushing down there. And I just bent you over. Boom. I just hit you there, and come back with that. 2 hands, again, inside, outside, doesn't matter. Okay? He should be tight or else I'm going to hit him. So he should be controlling those. Now he does that, there. I just use the fire movement to take this out of the way. And then that's weak, I can press down and hit up. Right? So that's that folding elbow off the fire movement that we're doing. So a lot of things, we're Xing things, and we're going across, and we don't have to worry about the other hand, because when we start playing with these meridians, that becomes a dead hand. And that gives us the ability to do things with it. Right. Now, the mental movement, we sort of went over the major mental movement. When the mental movement comes up, whacks and goes up, and comes out. Okay. So if we're here, again, I'm going to tap you, but I'm not going to do this first. So don't let me do anything with that. Okay, and then just throw me out of the way. Boom. See? He's able to ignore what I was doing with that because he felt me doing something, but he could tell what it was, that it wasn't compromising him. But from here, boom. I did this first, take that out of the way, and then right up. Boom, boom. All right? Sorry. Same thing on the outside. We're here. If I just try to push him down, he can hit me. Like that. Okay? If I'm here, sorry. You see how easy that was? I just turned this out of the way. He came down. I just had that there to hold him there. I was able to come back up. So that's that boom movement. So we have two hands. Again, if I just hit down, he's just going to be able to resist it. Okay? If I'm here, he's already up. What happened was that, again, from here, I was able to pull him down, and I just pulled him into this. And what I did was I pulled this to bend this, so it's not trapped against me. I can slam that, boom, boom. So again, he's not be able to use that hand. And that hand's out of the way because I knocked it out of the way that time. So that's what we're looking at, and the thing is that we're in a fighting movement. Now, where are our hands? We've practiced with our hands in these positions. Boom. Okay? So I did this and got this hand to be active. I became a dead hand. I didn't have to move. I just plowed into it. So that's what we're looking at. And it could be, we don't have to start off like this, you know. You're on the street. Boom. And here I just took this, because he came out with it. Use the point in here with this, and bends him over. Okay. Let me stop it.